Coach, so obviously game tomorrow night. What do you hope to get out of this? What would you like to get out of this tomorrow?
I think just a lot of that first game butterflies is what I know we'll for sure get out. So I know our guys are extremely excited to get in the Coliseum and get a chance to play in front of our fans and play somebody else for that matter. It's time for us to get out there and go play. So we're excited about that and give us a great opportunity to, see where we're at with some things from an execution standpoint at both ends of the floor. We won't, show a lot, but we'll play and be pretty free and open. But so we're certainly excited to get out there.
You got into practice in the Coliseum?
No.
You like to do that, right? You like to get on the floor a little bit?
Yeah. We're excited to get in there and get that opportunity to go play.
Is this a little bit more important for your later signees, or have they had enough time to where you've seen kind of, what they can bring or where they are?
A little bit. That trip to Italy helped a lot too, because a lot of them got in before then. We did have a couple guys after that, but I think just in general, just an opportunity for all of our guys to go out there, play, get to be in front of our home crowd, and again work through some of those things, those early season jitters. We just want to get through that a little bit.
Injuries, a couple guys were dealing with them a while ago. Anybody that's not going to be able to play or be limited tomorrow?
I think everybody's in a pretty good spot as long as we get through practice and shoot around tomorrow. We'll be in good shape there.
On the topic of guys who didn't athlete, what do you think of Harrison, Abraham so far, and what they can do for you?
Yeah, they've been great. They've brought great energy to practice, given us some depth in practice, some physicality. That's been great for us. So again, they're continuing. That they were two of the guys that came pretty late, so they're still adjusting a little bit and figuring those things out. But I love just the fact that now we got some extra depth in our front court there.
They're on kind of different trajectories because of the time they have left. Do you treat them differently, or are they just kind of not day one, but starting from square one and it doesn't matter who develops faster where they go?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, both of them just come in and try to catch them up as fast as you can to learn everything. But one's older and one's just an incoming freshman. So, but they're both coming along doing some good things for us.
Big tradition guy. West Virginia's tradition of the guys running out on the carpet. That's kind of unique in college basketball. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know yet. I haven't been out there, so
I walked out when you were introduced.
Yeah. I'm excited to see it. To be truthful, I was going over it yesterday. That's one of the things we haven't really talked a lot about. Is all right. We have a game tomorrow. What's that look like? So. And it's not like we don't have a ton of former players to ask, so it's Ofri. Ofri's going to have to tell us where to go.
Not to mention the musket going off, too. That'll be new for you.
Yeah. One of our assistant coaches, Chester Frazier, said the first time he played in here, he ducked a little bit that first time it went off. So I'll try to be aware as possible.
Comparative to the practice, how does something like tomorrow maybe impact, like, what you're looking at in terms of playing rotations, playing time, and things?
Yeah, I think it's certainly different when you're playing a different an opponent, and the game lights are on. There's throughout your coaching career, there's guys that look great in practice and they get in the game and they can freeze up. There's sometimes it's the opposite, right? And they don't look great in practice, but that game lights come on, it's like a different person. So those are the type of things with a new group. We've never played a game together. So seeing how they respond in front of people, seeing how they respond, that game speed's different than practice speed. Everything gets sped up a little bit. So who has the ability to kind of slow themselves down and still execute when we need them to execute. And those are the type of things that, again, throughout the course of this whole season, there'll be learning opportunities. But the quicker we can figure those things out together, the better off we'll be.
You mentioned before about going through the year and not losing the fundamentals and the things that you work through. But I guess now you kind of transition to game mode, right? Is that where you're at with this group?
Yeah, and we don't have much of anything in terms of a scouting report for this game. New coach, new players, that type of stuff. So this one and it's an exhibition game. So for the most part, you're just trying to rely on your principles, kind of see where all that stuff is at, and then go play and keep it pretty simple. You're not trying to, show your everything you have in an exhibition game. So for the most part, it's just our style of play is what we want to establish tomorrow. Playing fast and in transition, playing tough defensively. And again, without a scouting report, to go through every set or every play, you got to really be good at the stuff that you're working on. Those fundamentals need to be sound, and they'll get challenged in situations where you don't know what's coming.
How does it work? You learning the players learning you, players learning each other. What's the hardest part of putting that all together? I mean, who has the toughest job there, shall we say?
I bet we'd get two different answers if you asked them and you asked me, but I'm not sure. I think it's just both players and coaches trying to grow together at the end of the day. I mean, we're both trying to figure out, how do we best utilize a player, and how does that player, they're trying to figure out how they best fit into what we do. And it's just a learning curve that sometimes can happen very quickly. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but I also don't think you ever, what we are today is not who we're going to be a month from now. And that's the same with our players, same with our rotations. I always challenge them, don't get satisfied in the role you're in, whether you're a starter playing 30 minutes or somebody that maybe isn't even the rotation right now. Don't just settle into that role. You got to continue to be pushed to try to, change your role, improve your role, either as a starter or as somebody coming off the bench. And you just never know what happens. Injuries, sometimes someone gets sick and they get an opportunity, someone else gets an opportunity, and they'll take advantage of it. There's just so many different things that happen in the course of a season that you always want your guys to continue to just stay the course.
It's happening more and more in college basketball now. I mean, it used to be you could have 4 starters play 5 years or 4 years. No more, pretty much.
It's certainly changed, yeah. That's the game has changed a little bit in that regard of the continuity, maybe for 4 or 5 year periods. But again, our focus for right now is just what this group can do and how we can keep improving them.
Coach, I'm kind of curious, like if you go back to March when you were first introduced, there were a ton of things that needed to be done. You got to put a staff together, rebuild the roster, and an Italy trip to get ready for, and this. From that point to now, has it been fun, learning experience? Has it been maybe better than you anticipated? Was it more difficult than you anticipated?
I love everything about it. It's certainly, you hit the ground running, and there's challenges that are in front of you, but that's also kind of what makes you go a little bit is that challenge. How do you put it together and trying to figure it out. And you do some things right along the way. You'll do some things wrong along the way, and that's just part of it. But right now we've gotten to this point, got a team, got a coaching staff, and now it's trying to figure out how do we go win games, and that's our mission right now. And we're getting close to where they start to go in the win and loss column, and we want to do everything we can every night to try to get it on the good side.
In a sense, does it feel, or do you feel like there's been some hurdles leaped at this point? I mean, obviously, you still got the season to play, but do you feel like there's been obstacles overcome already to this point? Or
I mean, every job has challenges and things, and when you take over a program, you hit the ground running and go tackle what's ever in front of you. And like I said, that we've got a coaching staff, got a team, we're ready to go.
AP poll came out earlier this week, and you got a pretty good tour of the top 25 coming this year between what you have in the league and what you have non-conference. How deep have you got into that? Is it just game to game?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the schedule. It's a good one. But again, that's why we're here. We're excited about it. We're excited about the challenges in front of us. It's a very good schedule, both non-conference and league play. So again, we just continue to get ourselves right, put ourselves in the best position to go compete and try to win games.
Routine on game day, something maybe off the court you like to do to kind of, whether it's calm your nerves or just center yourself almost, get ready for a game?
I try to. I don't always. It depends. I get distracted sometimes, but I'll try to do a workout or something after a shoot around and get to a place, whether it be walking, lifting, whatever it might be, to some place where you can kind of run stuff through your head about what it's going to look like tonight. Maybe it's a play card that you continue to go over just to make sure that you got all your things that you talked about in the scout and in the game prep that. Any last minute thoughts or changes type things. So just so when it hits you, because in basketball it happens fast. The ball changes hands and you got to be ready to have a play that split second as they're coming up the floor. So just rehearsing as much of that as possible in your head before tip off.
Several of your players have mentioned that you're not a micromanager in the game in terms of, hey, you should have shot that, you should have passed that, you missed that shot, you're coming out. Where did that come from in your background? How did that develop to be your approach?
I think even long time ago as a player, but even as a coach, I just think guys, especially offensively, they play a lot better and more confidently when they know they got the freedom to be aggressive, to trust their instincts. And we talk to them about it at times, usually not in the moment of, was there an opportunity to maybe get a better shot here? Yeah, sure. But if you like it, take it. As long as we're doing it with the right motives and we're staying unselfish, I have no issues with guys, taking shots that they believe they can make. The only rule I have is if you're going to take them, you better practice them. If you're a guy that, a 7-footer that never practices threes, well, then you probably shouldn't fire one up in a game. Let's fire a couple up in practice first before we do that. But other than that, I want our guys confident. I want them to feel like they got that the coaching staff has their back. And even yesterday in practice, we had a couple guys turn down a couple step-in threes because they just missed a couple. And it's like, well, that can't happen. Like, I don't care if you miss 3 or 4 in a row. You've put in all this work. You're a great shooter. Shoot it again, because the percentages are going to play itself out.
How do you coach tomorrow? I mean, is this I want to play everybody, get everybody plenty of minutes, or it comes down to it, I got to coach to win? How do you treat tomorrow different than maybe a regular season game?
Yeah, I think the approach is we're going to approach it to go win the game. I mean, you want to try to do that, obviously. The second side of it, you'd also like to get everybody on the floor and get them some experience. So we'll see how it goes. There's been an exhibition game or two where I've had to play the starters a little longer than I would have liked, and then there's been some where we were able to, both teams were able to get all their guys in, get them some great, valuable experience and stuff. And ultimately, that's what I think we'd both like to see happen, is be able to get all of our guys on the floor and get them some experience.
Coach, Jaden's a guy we haven't really talked much about. Obviously put up a lot of points at a smaller school last year. Now he's kind of making the transition to the bigger school. What have you seen from him and that transition for him? How's he kind of fitting into everything?
I don't know exactly on the transition piece, but spoke to him, I think it was a couple of days ago, just to see if they need anything before tip off and make sure they're good for their shoot arounds and stuff. But I know he's excited. We're excited to have him back, have him up here, and be back in the Coliseum. And I know he's looking forward to bringing his team up here.
Is he just a scorer? I mean, sometimes you say, okay, well, scorers can score anywhere. I mean, is he that kind of guy, or, regardless of competition, or? Jaden.
Oh, Stone. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were asking about Coach.
Oh, no.
My
I'm
fault.
sorry.
My fault.
sorry.
My fault. I misunderstood you. Back to your Jaden Stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
My bad. I missed that one. So, no, Jaden, he's been good. He's given us, I think, a nice little scoring punch. To start the year here, he'll be coming off the bench again. Roles are always in flux a little bit, but I like what he can potentially give us as a scoring threat off the bench, and he can give it at all 3 levels. He can get to the rim. He's got a good, powerful body. He's got some athleticism. He's got a good mid-range, pretty good catch and shoot. So I think he's going to be a nice addition for us this year.
How do you approach things that go better than you expected or exceedingly well, whether you were coaching Drake or whatever, a scrimmage or a practice? do you kind of have that voice in the back of your mind, hunting for things to kind of pick out there? How do you approach that?
That voice never stops, Yeah, I think there's always, we got to, we got to be better here, better here, better here, better here. I think you're always trying to challenge yourself, challenge your team to again, I just don't want to be satisfied or complacent with where we are today. It's just always trying to find a way to find a little more to squeeze out of what we're doing, whether it's special situations or just general broad stuff, offense, defense. But I think we can always continue to improve, and we'll do that all the way until that final horn at the end of the season is how can we continue to try to make improvements every single day.
So you will find things tomorrow.
No, we'll find plenty.
Some coaches, during the way they manage a game, are kind of black and white on some things, like 2-for-1s at the end of a half, playing guys to 2 fouls in the first half. Do you foul if you're up 3 at the end of a game? Stuff like that. Do you have hard stuff like that you're absolutely going to go this way no matter what, or is it a feel for the game and don't be a prisoner of your? I'm trying to think of the saying there. Don't stick too closely to your rules and just kind of feel what it is.
I don't. There's some general philosophies, but it's not hey, we're doing this 100% of the time. For instance, 2 fouls. That's definitely going to be a feel thing. How's the game going? Can I get them back in there? Who is it? In terms of, are they prone to foul again, or are they pretty smart about being able to stay away from it? So, for the on the 2 foul thing, for the most part, I'll put them back in if I can. I just got to trust them a little bit. Now there's some times where maybe you pick it up with 2-3 minutes left before half. Hey, let's see if we can get to the halftime. But fouling up 3. We haven't in the past. It's not something that I lost a game that way one time when I was a player. That's all it took, and I haven't lost not doing it yet. So here comes all the analytic people to tell me whether I'm right or wrong. But until I get burnt by it, that's a general philosophy. Now there's different situations for all of that type of stuff that we certainly talk about before a game.
So the game you played, you're up 3, you foul. I'm assuming they made the first and missed the second on purpose? Or?
No, we fouled the 3-point shooter. Yeah, he made all of them. Paul Lusk, by the way. Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned putting together the staff. What was it about Tom that made him a good fit here and made you want to bring him in?
Yeah, Tom joined us at Drake, and I just love his experience. He's been in a lot of places. He's been at the high major level. He's recruited at this level, coached at this level, won at this level. So he's someone that I think gives us a very vast experience that he can draw from at all times. So I just really have enjoyed the fact that he was able to come and join us.
Family from Iowa coming in for your first game, or not? They're gonna wait till the regular season, or?
Most of them are coming for their first regular season game. So excited to have a good crew of people that are coming in for that.